Pokemon has been my favorite game for as long as I can remember. I started in '99 when I was 5 years old and I have loved it ever since. My first game was Pokemon Red and my first starter was a Bulbasaur. Over the years, I have played many Pokemon games and I have liked them all, but these are 5 games that I love. So today, I'll be counting down my top 5 favorite Pokemon games of all time. The stories were fantastic, the Pokemon designs were great, the nostalgia impact is strong, and the overall enjoyment of the games makes me want to play them again. Note that I will only be talking about the main Pokemon games and not spin-offs. Without any further ado though, let's get right into the list and hop on that nostalgia train. I used to say that I despise Black and White because of all the Pokemon, but after playing it a few times and understanding the story behind it, it made me change my mind. I was indeed wrong, and some of the Pokemon were just adorable. What makes me really love this game though is how in-depth the story was in terms of plot and Team Plasma's objective. The power of liberating Pokemon from their trainers for ultimate freedom is pretty ingenious, but the way how it was introduced to players and shown off seemed like it was in good content. Team Plasma failed to realize though that Pokemon and trainers have true friendships when they battle and are just around each other. And the whole time was just a puppet leader when Ghetsis was really the man running the show, and realizes this in the sequels of Black and White 2 and stands up to his father saying that he is still in the bonds between trainers and Pokemon. Also, the character development of the rivals throughout both the originals and sequels is pretty dynamic. Bianca stands up to her father and Sharon realizes that Pokemon aren't just for battling. Did I also mention Maractus is also freaking adorable? Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum in 2007 through 2009 were the first main Pokemon games released to the Nintendo DS. These were a massive improvement to the Pokemon games in terms of plane spreads and structures. I guess you could say the blocks were gone and we got into more dimensional figures. Diamond and Pearl were also the first games to ever be used with Nintendo Wi-Fi, and this Wi-Fi battling began. Players from around the world could battle each other, and the interaction made communities for battling and even suggested sets for Pokemon. More into the games though, this is the first time we have ever seen a diabolical leader trying to destroy the world. You can argue Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald in the remakes, but they were more or less just trying to change the structure as compared to literally killing people and twisting space and time. I also have to point out that some Pokemon from previous generations got more evolutions, changing a lot of Pokemon for the better. Some ones I really like are Electivire and Yanmega. Which ones do you guys like? In 2013, we were introduced with Pokemon X and Y. Everyone was blown away because we now had 3D Pokemon and trainer sprites on a handheld system. This was definitely an improvement to the prior 2D features we had on the previous handhelds. It was a new era of Pokemon. To me, this was also an amazing new experience, and the fact that Mega Evolutions were brought to the screen was incredible in its own aspect. Some of my favorite Pokemon were able to take their power to the next level, and most of their forms looked majestic. Lots of Pokemon got the necessary buffs they needed in order for them to show their true colors. Speaking of looking good and majestic, character customization became a thing and we could have our own unique look despite that hat not being removable. X and Y really changed Pokemon for the better, and I can definitely say that. Nostalgia, nostalgia, nostalgia. Pokemon Gold and Silver. I said Red was the first game I played, but Gold and Silver and Crystal were the first games I understood. These games were on the list due to nostalgia and the fact that it was the first time we had coloration in a handheld Pokemon game. It turned blobs into actual sprites. My favorite Pokemon and starter were introduced, and with the remakes they could walk behind me. The music was also very soothing in all cities. The best factor though is that we can go back to Kanto. I just love the Johto region so much, and it's still my favorite region. But in terms of games, this next one beats it. So these next games are just the remix of Pokemon Gold and Silver. Johto is my home. I feel like I lived here as a kid and even today. I have played through HeartGold and SoulSilver so many times. I love the improved graphics, the little change of plot that was introduced, the event between Giovanni and Silver filled in the mystery of who Silver really was, and how he got the attitude he did. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten that Pokemon actually follow you around. HeartGold and SoulSilver are the only Pokemon games to do this. Yellow had Pikachu, but that was only one Pokemon. In these games, any Pokemon could follow you. So you could literally have a Kyogre follow you through Route 31, and it's like, wow. I love the themes of all the cities remastered. The routes, Lake of Rage, Union Cave, so many good ones. HeartGold and SoulSilver are just the perfect Pokemon games, and they even include the events of Crystal with Yucine and Suicune. We could even go back to Kanto again, everything updated with those brilliant DS graphics. The showdown with Red, oh my god, I can go on for hours. These games rock, I love everything about them. Johto is the best region, and home to the best Pokemon games and the two cutest Pokemon of all time, Umbreon and Chikorita. Well, those were my top 5 favorite Pokemon games. I definitely will always love Pokemon, and I hope that we will still get awesome games in the future. With Ultra Sun and Moon around the corner, it can definitely happen. What about you guys? What are your favorite Pokemon games? Share them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and share this video with a friend. With that being said though, I'm Mystic Umbreon, and I will see you in the future for some more awesome Pokemon content.